Hello my dear students, so here I am with a new topic, that is total utility. Okay, now you have to understand the concept of this total utility. So in the previous video we have already discussed about the utility. So utility is defined as the level of satisfaction derived from consuming any commodity, or we have also mentioned that one satisfying power of a commodity is known as utility. So here we are going to discuss total utility. So total utility is nothing but the entire amount of satisfaction, okay, obtained by consuming the particular quantity of a commodity. Okay, once again, what is total utility? The total utility is defined as the entire amount of satisfaction obtained by consuming various units of commodity. Okay, so that is called total utility. Now I will explain this concept with the help of one example. Suppose in breakfast you are having three chapatis. Okay, you are having three chapatis in breakfast. Now three chapatis can be written as, suppose C1 first chapatis, C2 second chapatis, C3 third chapatis. Okay, now the satisfaction obtained from that first chapati is, suppose U1. Okay, now the satisfaction derived from the second chapati is, suppose U2, and the satisfaction derived from this third chapati is, suppose U3. Now you are asked to find out the total utility. What will you do? Total utility is represented by Tu equals to, okay, Tu equals to the utility derived from first chapati plus the utility derived from second chapati plus utility derived from third chapati. So we can write total utility equals to U1 plus U2 plus U3 plus and so on. If you have more number of chapatis or more number of any other items if you are consuming, so whatever the satisfaction you will obtain from each and every unit, if you sum up or if you add all the utility derived from different units of commodity, will get total utility. So we can say that total utility is the summation of utility. Okay, summation means addition. Okay, addition of utility derived from different units of commodity. Okay, so here I have considered chapati C1 first chapati, C2 second chapati, C3 third chapati, and the utility obtained from first chapati we have U1, from second we have U2, from third one we have U3. So if you are asked to find total utility, what we have to do? We have to add summation, sum of the utility derived from different units. So this is the concept of total utility. Now we'll move to the marginal utility. Okay, next concept we have marginal utility. So marginal utility is defined as the additional level of satisfaction obtained from consuming one more unit of output. Okay, so here we can say that when we are consuming different units of commodity, as I said, from C1, okay, suppose say 2 units, we have chapati 1 and chapati, so you are getting U1 from the first unit and U2 from this utility 2 from this second unit. So we can see that the additional level of satisfaction obtained, okay, obtained from consuming one more unit. So when we consume more and more units of commodity, we will get a different level of satisfaction from each unit of commodity. So when we are moving from second to third unit of any commodity, suppose you are consuming an apple, okay, first unit of apple, so you are getting, suppose satisfaction 50 units, and when we consume the second unit, suppose you are getting 60 units, so total is 60. Now when you are asked to find marginal utility, I'll get marginal utility TUN, total utility from nth item minus total utility from n minus 1 item, means previous item. So here marginal utility will be 60 minus 50, so here we'll get 10. Once again, you just try to understand the concept of marginal utility. Marginal utility is nothing but the additional level of satisfaction obtained from consuming one more unit of output. Now I will explain you this concept of total utility and marginal utility with the help of one schedule. Okay, utility schedule. So here we have considered the item mangoes. Okay, now units of mangoes, total utility, and we have okay, let's consider this is a hypothetical table of utility. Now we have mentioned the units of mangoes. In first column, in second column we have total utility. Now if these two information are given, we can easily find the marginal utility. Now units of mangoes, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What it means? When we are consuming nothing, 0 means we are not consuming any units of output. So the total satisfaction or the total utility is 0. Okay, when I am consuming the first unit, this first unit of mango is giving me 10 units of satisfaction. Okay, and second unit is giving suppose 17. Third unit is giving me 21 units of utility. Fourth one is giving 22. Fifth one is also giving 22. Means here the utility is, total utility is constant at the fifth unit of mangoes. Now sixth unit is giving suppose 19. Means here when we are consuming the sixth unit, the level of satisfaction derived from the additional unit of commodity is going on decreasing. So here our utility is decreasing. We can say this one as disutility or negative utility. Now I will find this marginal utility. As I said, the formula of marginal utility is mu equals to TUN minus TUN minus 1. So total utility derived from nth commodity minus total utility derived from the previous unit. So here marginal utility will, if the total units consumption is 0, total utility is 0, then it will be undefined. Okay, undefined. Now for the first unit, I'll get 10 minus 0. This is your TUN, and this one is the previous commodity. So this can be considered as TUN minus 1. So 10 minus 0. 10 minus 0 will get 10. Similarly, what we'll do that for the next unit we will move down. As we move down, this will become our TUN minus 1, and this one will be our TUN. That means total utility from nth commodity we have 17, and the total utility from previous unit of mango we have 10. So here I'll get marginal utility TUN minus 1. So here 17 minus 10. So here we'll get 7. Okay. Now for this next third unit we have 21. Now we have to move down. This will become our TUN minus 1, and this will become TUN. As we move down, the utility derived from nth commodity will increase, and this one, the previous one will be considered as TU n minus 1. So now here we have 21 minus 17. So here we'll get 4. Next, again this will be our TUN, and this will become TUN minus 1. So here 22 minus 21. Here we'll get 1. Now in same way we have to move. So for this one, fifth unit, we have 22 minus 22 equals to 0. And for the sixth one, we have 19 minus 22 will get minus 3. So what we can see that the marginal utility derived from this, okay, additional unit of commodity. In the first unit of mango we have 10, in the second unit we have 7, third unit 4, then 1, 0, then minus 3. So when the total utility is maximum, as fifth unit of mango, okay, and when total utility is maximum, we can see that marginal utility is 0, okay. When total utility is maximum, marginal utility will be 0. And when total utility is decreasing, so after 20 to 19 means here the utility is decreasing, and when utility decreases, what will happen that here we can see that marginal utility is negative, 19 minus 22 minus 3. So when we consume sixth unit of commodity, what will happen that a marginal utility will be negative, minus 3. Minus 3 is a negative number, and it implies negative utility. Okay, so next concept we have diminishing marginal utility. Now in order to explain this diminishing marginal utility, this table is very important. That's why I will explain you this concept from this given utility schedule for mangoes. Okay, let's start. So here diminishing marginal utility. So diminishing marginal utility states that when we consume more and more units of commodity, okay, when we consume more and more units of commodity, so additional unit of commodity gives us lesser and lesser level of satisfaction, okay, and that concept is called what? Diminishing marginal utility. Once again, diminishing marginal utility is nothing but when we consume more and more units of commodity, okay, the additional level of satisfaction derived from additional unit of commodity will goes on decreasing. Like suppose say when you are consuming first unit of mangoes, okay, the marginal utility is 10, okay. When we consume second, the marginal utility is 7. When we are consuming third, marginal utility is 4, and when we are consuming fourth unit, marginal utility is 1. So we can see that the marginal utility goes on decreasing when we consume more and more units of commodity. When we are consuming first one, we have maximum marginal utility. When you are consuming second one, marginal utility is 7, decreasing. When we are consuming third, the marginal utility is only 4 unit, means additional level of satisfaction, okay, obtained from consuming more and more units of commodity will goes on decreasing. So here the diminishing marginal utility implies the marginal utility will goes on decreasing when we consume more and more units of commodity, okay. That concept is called diminishing marginal utility. Once again, I'll give you another example. Suppose say you are feeling thirsty, okay, and when you are given a glass of water, the first glass of water will give you maximum satisfaction. In order to quench your thirst, if you take the first glass of water, that will give you maximum satisfaction. When you are asked to drink second glass, you will get some level of satisfaction, but the satisfaction derived from the second glass of water will be lesser. Similarly, if you are asked to drink third glass of water, the third glass of water will give you lesser and lesser level of satisfaction. So when we consume more and more glass of water, when we drink more and more glass of water, the satisfaction derived from the additional glass of water will goes on decreasing, and that concept is called what? Diminishing marginal utility. Okay, now the next basic concept of economics we have production. So how to define production? What do you mean by production? So production means act of making goods and services. Okay, production is defined as act of making goods and services, or it can be also defined in another way, or we can say that conversion of inputs into outputs. So output means here finished product, okay, finished goods, and inputs means factors of production plus raw materials. Okay, once again, what is production? Production means act of making goods and services, or we can define this production in another way also, conversion of inputs into outputs. So what is that inputs? That inputs include different factors of production plus raw materials. And what is output? Output means here finished goods. Okay, so this is the concept of production. Now next we have factors of production. Okay, factors of production. So what is factors of production? The productive resources that are used in the process of production. Okay, the productive resources that are used in the process of production is called factors of production. Okay, what are that productive resources? Productive resources are land, labor, capital, organization, and raw material. So all the productive resources that are used in the process of production is called what? Factors of production. Okay, now these factors of production are usually classified into four groups. These factors of production are classified into four groups. Okay, number one we have land, number two we have labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Okay, these factors of production is classified into four categories or four groups: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Now we have to understand what do you understand by land, what is the meaning of labor, what do you mean by capital, what is an entrepreneur. So first we'll start with land. So how you define land? In economics, land is defined as all the free gifts of nature. Okay, land means here all the free gifts of nature. Okay, all the free gifts of nature are called land in economics, and that free gifts of nature are, we have forest, land surface, water, minerals, etc. So these all are the part of land. Okay, now next we have labor. So labor is defined as a human effort, okay, both physical and mental effort involved in the production process is called labor. Okay, some labor are skilled, unskilled, okay, some are semi-skilled. So the labor who is using his physical power to complete his work or contributing in the production process, so that can be considered as a physical labor. And the mental labor, the labor who is using his brain, okay, talent, ideas, skill in the process of production is called mental labor. Okay, so this labor is also categorized into different parts: skilled and unskilled. Skilled means the one who is trained, okay, those who have got some experience in that particular field, so that can be considered as a skilled labor. Or we can say that the one who is using his brain, talent, skill are mental labor. And the physical labor means the one who is using his physical power, like porters, construction workers, that all comes under this unskilled labor. Now next we have capital. So what is capital? Capital is a produced means of production, okay, man-made or the produced means of production, okay. That produced means of production may includes different equipments, machinery, factory, buildings, etc. So these all are included in capital. Now next one we have entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is the one who combine different factors of production and involve himself in the process of production. He also bears some risk and he takes different business decisions. So he takes different business decisions. He also bears some risks, as well as he combine different factors of production to use in the process of production. So entrepreneur includes the owner, okay, especially owner of that factory, owner of any organization, that can be considered as an entrepreneur. So these all are the different factors of production, and these all factors of production are equally important, okay, important in the process of production. So today we will do this much only, and in next class I will start the next topic.